Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the sixth video in this series of Salesforce hosted MCP server. So we already talked about how we can use a standard MCP server, and then in the custom MCP server, in the last two videos, we talked about flows and invocable Apex with the global modifier. Now, in this video, we are going to talk again about custom MCP server, but we will talk about here methods which have Aura enabled annotation, or those in the invocable Apex class which are not having global access modifier, whereas it is just defined as public. So how we can enable such classes as an MCP server, right? In this video, we are going to talk about that. So let's see first about a class. So this is my IDE, and let's say, let me show you. Yeah, get case by number. No, not this one. Yeah, opportunity MCP service. This. So I'm going to open this class, right? Yeah, so this is my class, and if you see, let me close this and increase the size a little bit. Yep. So this is my class. It has an Aura enabled method called get high value opportunities. So if you want to expose this Aura enabled method class as an MCP server, how will you do that, right? So the first step is like whenever you are done with your class, all you need to do is generate the OpenAI specification. So how will you do that? You will right click on it, and then you will use SFDX Create OpenAI document from this class. So once you do that and deploy this, what it will do is it will register your class as an MCP tool in Salesforce, right? So I already have done that. So I can show that to you. So I have already did that. Let me show back. Yeah. So this will like generate an XML file like this. You can deploy this. So in order to deploy, like just click on right click and say SFDX deploy this source to all. Once you deploy that, what will happen is in Salesforce, right? You need to go to first setup and then search for yes. So you need to search. Yeah, you need to go to setup and search for API. And under the API catalog, you will see the API catalog here. And you can like switch between the sources. But right now, since I'm talking about Aura enabled and invocable, which is not having global access modifier, right? So for them, you don't need OpenAI registry. But for Aura enabled and invocable Apex, which do not have like global access modifier defined. So for them, uh, we will switch to Aura enabled, and you can see, right, this is my OpenAI opportunity MCP service. So you can, once you deploy that, what you will find is like you can see this is registered as a tool, as an API catalog into Salesforce. The type source is Apex, type is Aura enabled, and agent enablement is completed. You can see it's activated and created. If it is not activated and created, like you can click on activate action and then choose and activate that, right? But yeah, so let me do one thing. Let me delete this actually. Let me go to API catalog back, and I will just delete and redo this thing. So I will say remove API. Okay, I think I'm already using it, so that's fine. So let's create a quick another class. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create another Apex class here with the name. I will say name same as this, but I will just say Aura enabled in the last. Okay, and then I will copy everything over here. So I'm just going to copy this into this. And what else? Yeah, I need to make sure that these are also there. Okay, so my class is ready. Let me deploy my class first. So I deployed this. This is deployed. So if you see here, refresh, under the API catalog, that is not yet enabled. And also, if you go to MCP server, you can't find that as a tool over there. So let's say this is one of the custom server I have created without any tool. So if I try to add any tool over here of type like Aura enabled, I can't find that here yet. So to enable this class, I will right click and say create OpenAI document for this. I'll just enter, and you see it created the document. Next thing I will do is I will click on deploy this source to org. And once you deployed that, if you go to API catalog back, let's see here. So I'm seeing that, right? And I can open this. Right now, it's not activated. So in order to activate that, I will click on activate action and then select this. And then you need to just like scroll down a little bit and say update. Generally, like you won't find it, but yeah, if you scroll down, you will see the update button or like minimize or maximize and just click on update. So now it's activated. And now if you refresh the tool available in custom MCP server over here, right? It should come. Let's switch to or enabled, and yeah, I can see it is available now to add, right? So this is how like we will expose or enabled method in a class as a tool into custom MCP server in Salesforce, which will be consumed by MCP clients like Claude, ChatGPT, or Cursor. So let's now create a new server at all, and then we will test this out. So I'm going to create a new server, and I will say Aura enabled MCP server, Aura enabled class MCP server for opportunity. Oh, this is a little bit longer, so I'm just say MCP. That's fine. You can give any name, which makes sense. I'm just showing you for the demo purpose. So I'll say get opportunities details by passing the amount threshold, right? And say create. So now it just created the URL. You see, right? This is the URL which we will use to register while using with MCP clients. I will use Claude in this video. So in the tool, I'm going to click on add tool and then switch to Aura enabled and use this one because this is what we did. I will say add tool, done. So tool is added. Just all I need to do is now activate this. So now this MCP server is activated in the Salesforce side. Now let me go back to Claude and refresh the like click on customize, then go to connectors, and I'm going to register it. So I will say Aura enabled MCP service, and the URL I will just copy from here. So this is my URL, and then client ID and client secret. So like I have been repeating this in all my videos. So to enable to use any MCP server hosted on Salesforce, either it's standard or custom, you need to create external client app manager, basically a connected app. Previous video, I will post the link to that video. But all I am going to do here is I'm going to click on consumer key and secret and copy the consumer key and secret and paste it in client ID and client secret here while adding the connector. I will say add. The next step is it will ask me to authenticate. I will click on connect, authenticate, and it should get connected. It will show me the list of tools. It is showing me the list of tools. Let me go and quickly test it. I'm going to choose which connector to use as part of this. So I'm going to just keep this enabled or enabled MCP server. And I will say get all opportunity where amount is more than 50K. Let's see, does it work? It's thinking and it is crafting the query. It should ask for, yeah, it did the query. I think I have given the approval to run without asking for any approval. So it fetched all the opportunities from my org where amount was greater than 50K. So that's how we will use Aura enabled custom MCP server hosted in Salesforce in any MCP client. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video, we will talk about again Aura enabled type, but just the source will be like so it will not be actual Aura enabled method. Basically, it will be an invocable Apex itself, but we will be using again OpenAI registry to enable it without there are two ways, right? As I mentioned in the past, if you enable your class as an global in an invocable Apex. So for example, let's say this one, right? So this is a invocable method and class, right? You see here, but it's not global. So we need to again do the same thing for this as well. I will show this quickly in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.